Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hey, listen, while we get started, before we kind of get into this, what I recommend is if you don't mind, as I'm thinking about building out my membership site for all of you Thin Within members and for all of those new members, one of the things I wanted to do is to get your advice. What's a name that resonates with you? And you'll see in the Thin Within results Facebook page, and you'll see it down below. You'll notice a question, and all you have to do is put the letter that you think would be the best name. And I'm just wanting to collect and get your advice and get your thoughts and opinions about what the membership community should be named. And I think it's really fun to be part of creating the name for my new membership site that I am creating out, that I'm really excited to present to all of you. So I would love your advice. So today I want to talk to you about what do you do when you hop on the scale and it's not moving. You're not seeing the results you want. You think you're doing great. You think you're making progress. And then you hop on the scale and it doesn't look the way you want it to look. Or maybe it's gone up in weight and you're like, what the heck? What am I doing? So I'd like to offer you three things today that you can do if you're finding that your scale is stuck. It's either not moving or it's going up. And these are things that you can do right now. These are things that I'm not giving that are really hard or difficult, but they will require some focus. Okay. So when I was thinking about what are the best things, if you're really stuck and you're really, really frustrated, what could I give you today that would really help you now, today, this week? And I've got three things. Okay. First of all, we've got to look at your overeating. If you are finding yourself over consuming food at every single meal, that is definitely going to make a difference in your weight loss abilities. Because every time you overeat, your body's like, thank you, I'm going to store this for when you go into deprivation mode, when you are in a famine mode, and it stores that lovely on your body. We don't want to see that. So if you're noticing that perhaps lunches and dinners you're overeating, this is the time to really focus on slowing down, getting a little bit more mindful, taking half the amount of food that you would typically take, and then give yourself a long pause and just see and notice, are you fully satisfied? Because if you're overeating, it's going to be really hard for your body to recover. And I don't want you to continue to get in this habit of overeating and overeating and overeating, because what it does is it takes the stomach, and if it has no choice. If you put more food into it than it has room for, it has to expand. And then what happens is if you get in the habit of overeating, you train your brain, and you then, which trains your stomach, that this is the amount of food I really love eating. I like this quantity. I like feeling this filled up. I like this amount. And so I really want to encourage you to slow down during your meals. Take half the amount. Notice, are you fully satisfied? Is that a comfortable amount in your body? Because the first way you can start really seeing a result is in lessening your overeating amount. And you might say, hey, I'm not overeating. Great. But if you are, this is a very good place to start. The next thing is, let's talk about balancing your hormones. For those of you who are over 35, like me, and you notice, wow, things are really changing, especially as I'm hitting mid 40s. I'm like, holy cow, things are really shifting for me. So here are some things that I'm putting into place that I would encourage you as well, just to help you become metabolically more efficient. One, at your meals. You're already going to eat anyway. Let's make sure you have some good quality fats and proteins when you have a meal. At most every meal, if you can make sure you have good quality fats and proteins, what will happen, it will satiate you. It will get your body burning more efficiently, and you're going to see more results on the scale faster. Okay? So I want you to see and have and think about your meals right now, and think about, do they have some protein? Do they have some fat in them? Because I know for me, if I have a salad and it doesn't have protein, it doesn't have any fat on it, I'm hungry an hour later. And then I'll go look for something else that gives me more bulk and food and satiates me. And then it's like I've just had two meals. I've had a meal, and then because I'm hungry just a little bit longer, then I will go grab something else. And so, what I'd like to see is nice space in between your meal times. And the best way to satiate yourself is with some good quality protein, good quality fat. The next way we start managing some of those hormones is by reducing the white and adding some color. Reduce the white, add some color. So when you look at your plate, is it full of white, or can we add some color? If we start adding some color in the way of vegetables, berries, that's a great thing for your hormones. Your hormones will be like, thank you so much. So if we got some protein, some fat, something colorful, that's a beautiful, beautiful way for your hormones to start regulating and balancing and feeling great. And I want to see if you can really start to hunker down and balance those hormones by moving away from the white and moving into lots of color, lots of beauty, lots of vibrancy on your plate. And when I talk about white, it may be white sugar, white flour, rice, those type of things that tend to make you feel hungry faster and tend to get stored easier. And so if we can, and not to mention they disrupt the hormonal balance in your body like crazy. So if we can balance that out, just think color over white. The next thing, the third thing I want to make sure that you are doing is I want to make sure you are getting some sweat on. If you love moving, great. If you don't love moving, that's okay too. Going up and down the stairs for 1 minute is 3 times a day will help you get your sweat on. Sometimes we just need to shake things up in our body. And through movement, we can do that. We can shake up our metabolic rate by just moving things up a little bit. If you're already somebody who does move, then same thing. Shake it up a little bit. If you're used to doing the same thing all the time from a movement standpoint, or you move but you don't sweat, one of the things I'd like to encourage you to do and challenge you to do is to think about getting your sweat on, getting it on a little bit. And like I said, it doesn't have to be long. It just has to be enough to just move your body, get your metabolic rate. And one of the best ways I like doing is like either doing jumping jacks, jump rope, or running up and down the stairs just for a minute or two. That makes the biggest difference for me and my body to quickly start to sweat. And so I want to get your sweat on. So these three things will really help you start to balance things out, kick things into gear, high gear, and start to see more weight loss on the scale. Because there's nothing more frustrating than starting out and doing what you feel like you want to do, doing a plan, sticking to it, and not seeing the results. And I know, especially those of you who are 35 and older or feel like, man, things are just stuck, then the last thing I want you to do, so we're going to look at making sure that you're assessing your overeating and knocking any overeating down. That's going to help you immediately start to lose weight. The second thing is we're going to start to balance your hormones. Lastly, I want you to think about making a plan for those things. The more we can activate your adult brain versus your inner 2-year-old mind, the more we can activate that planning part of you, that thoughtful part of you around this, then the better. So if you notice that, hey, you know what, Marna, you're right. I really am overeating. So then I just want you to think about, well, what could you do to help support the stopping sooner for you? And just write it down. What could you do today to help you stop a little sooner? End your meals a little sooner, a little bit before you feel that fullness, heaviness, overly bloated, uncomfortable feeling. What's something you could do today? The second thing is looking at, okay, what is it that I could do today to help support my balance of hormones? Can I add a little bit of something or other? One of the things that I love to do as a plan that's working really well for me, especially being so busy like so many of you, is on Monday nights. One of the things I love doing for dinners is I just make a giant stir fry. I mean, I load this thing up. I take my big old giant wok and I load it with cauliflower rice. I load it with any vegetable I have, a bag of vegetables. If you have frozen vegetables, it doesn't matter. I just load it up. And then I might put in some chicken, or you could have salmon. Usually for me, it's chicken. And I just load it up. And then I have for the rest of the week, I have lunches available to me, dinners available to me that have a really high veggie concentrate. So that just makes it easy for me to know, hey, Mondays, I'm going to just make this giant stir fry. And so when I'm going grocery shopping, it looks like that. Hey, what can I find that would be really good to stir fry? I might try something new. I love doing bok choy. I love doing Brussels sprouts. I love trying a bunch of different things. So it's just a big, huge thing in there, big, huge stir fried pot that I love. And then whatever we don't eat, it's mine usually for the rest of the week. If I get bored with that and I'm like, okay, I've had enough stir fry, I can simply make it a soup. I can simply take all those ingredients, put some broth in there, whether you're vegetarian or whether you like beef or chicken broth. I can make some broth and then I can just blend up all those vegetables or leave them whole. And then I have a soup that's great for me for lunches as well. Or I can make tacos out of it. One of the things I do is I take that stir fry, and for dinner, if the kids don't love it, but I do, I want it then we'll do taco night and I'll use that to put in the taco. Or I'll just make a taco salad, throw some cheese on top of it or something like sour cream, and there you go. There's taco night with my big veggie stir fry. And so I like to use it in a lot of different ways, but just having one big meal created on a Monday, and for some of you that you might need one big meal then created on a Wednesday or a Thursday, that could be a big steak night or a big chicken night or a big pork night or a big vegetarian tofu night or Beyond Burger night. Whatever it is, you make a big enough portion that then you have for the next several days. Then what gets to happen are dinners. You don't have to think every single night about dinners. You get to think about 2 dinners for the week, and then in the middle are leftovers. And that tends to work really, really well from a grocery shopping standpoint, from getting those veggies in, for getting the meals that are homemade. I love to use coconut aminos to help me stir fry. Good quality oils in that stir fry. There I'm getting my good quality fat. I've got the protein in the chicken or whatever it might be, tofu or whatever you want. And there you go. It's something so, so simple. So I want you to think about really incorporating some hormone balancing into this process. And again, the way I really love balancing hormones is kicking up your movement so you're sweating a little bit. The next thing, making sure that we are adding some color to your plate and decreasing the white, except for I like cauliflower. I like that cauliflower rice a lot. And then adding protein and good quality fats at every single meal. Every time you eat, I love the idea of you having that. So let's say it's even a snack, good nut butter like Almond butter with an apple is great. Almond butter with a banana is great. It has a little bit of natural sugars in there, but I love having that nut butter with it. So I want you to really think about using these three things today and into this week and notice what happens to your body. Notice, give it a shot, playful out, go for it, or pick one of these that I'm sharing with you. Pick adding some good quality fats and proteins, or pick adding the piece like reducing your overeating, or pick making a plan for yourself every single morning. That really speaks to helping you move into having the body you want. Pick one thing and take action, but take it consistently. Take the action consistently for 1 week, and then let me know how your weight and your body are showing up for you. Okay? All right, everybody. Have an amazing, amazing day. And if you haven't taken the free weight loss course, please giddy up. Let's help you by starting to reprogram your mind to lose weight. And this course will start to have you start to see results by reprogramming your mind. All right, let's get you unstuck and take action on one of these three ways. And if you'd even like to, if you've been feeling stuck, share with me what is the action you're going to take today. All right. Love you all. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, everybody.